am a firm believer in encouraging others to get familiar with how to ID birds by their vocalizations. It can be such a huge part of the birding process, but I've noticed that many find the learning process difficult or intimidating. We as a species are very visually attuned, and most don't have too much difficulty describing colors or patterns without being taught special vocabulary that we wouldn't use in our everyday life. For instance, try describing an American robin to someone. You would say it's a medium sized songbird with a thin yellow bill, gray back, with a red breast. You are already familiar with the names of these body parts and the colors that go along with them. If you are an artist, you may have the skills to describe a color better than a non artist would. The name of a particular shade of brown, for example. But overall, describing what you are seeing isn't a problem. But when it comes to sounds, unless you're a musician or musically inclined, do you know how to describe what you're hearing? Listen to this bird. How would you describe it to someone else? What words are you familiar with that would accurately describe it to another to help with an ID? Or if I play two similar bird sounds, how would you describe the differences between them? Or maybe your ears haven't even been trained enough to even notice the differences in the first place. This is exactly why birding by ear is seen as so intimidating to many. We are not accustomed to noticing these finer details that we may only have a split second to notice in the first place. So, now let's go over why it's so important to develop the skill in the first place. Think about the last time you went birding. Think about how many birds you heard versus actually saw. And from what ones you did see, how many gave you actual good looks? Some groups of birds are more outgoing and easy to spot than others. Waterfowl and birds of prey are typically out in the open many times, but many marsh birds are extremely secretive. There are so many species you will rarely get to actually see. But if you're in the right habitat, during the right time of day or night, you most likely will have no problem hearing them. Let's take a trip to our nearby marsh to get an example. How many times do you see this common yellowthroat versus hearing it? What about the Virginia rail? Or American bittern? Even a bird as common as a red-eyed vireo may be hard to spot when it's hidden in all the leaves up in the canopy. But it's definitely not a species that is shy about broadcasting its presence non-stop, all day long. Birding by ear opens up a whole new world when it comes to birding. With this skill, you don't even need to lay eyes on the bird or have any equipment such as scopes or binoculars. It is also a great way to impress others. There are also many species that can look nearly identical to one another. Think of the yellowlegs, for example. They look very similar, with mainly displaying differences in their overall size and the size and shape of their bill. But when you hear them vocalize, it is much easier to differentiate the two, with the greater yellowlegs typically giving 3 to 4 notes and the lesser with 2 notes. Or, one of the best examples of sound being used to help tell apart nearly identical birds can be when you are trying to decide if a particular Epidionax flycatcher you are looking at is an alder flycatcher or a willow. While in appearance these two are practically twins, when they are cooperative enough to give you a nice vocalization, these two can easily be told apart, with the willow's Witzpew and the alder's Three Beers. When the sun sets is another time where birding by ear really comes to life. Many secretive species are crepuscular, meaning they're active during the dawn or dusk. These low light conditions make it hard for us to see, but these species are often very vocal during these times. Marsh birds are often giving various vocalizations during this time, as well as the nightjars and the crowd favorites, the owls. Or maybe songbirds are singing their dawn chorus songs before it's light enough to be able to use binoculars to find them. Birding by ear can be a game changer when you start actively listening to the birds around you. You will start noticing more, develop greater observational skills, and develop a better understanding of bird life and behavior. And if you'd like to learn more about birding by ear, check out my podcast, Birding by Ear with the Master Birders Academy, on your favorite podcast listening platform. And if you'd like to be a better birder, feel free to check out my online courses through the Master Birders Academy at www.thebirdingacademy.com. The first month is free. Happy birding!